welcome to episode 202 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Mags.
I am Jack.
And we are Dungeons & Dragons social commentary podcast where we focus on the social aspect of D&D.
We give our advice to players and dungeon masters, old and new.
But most importantly, we believe in creating a safe, inclusive, and welcome space in the TTRPG community.
So if that sounds good to you, welcome in.
Howdy!
Howdy, partner.
Hey, partner.
Hey, partner.
Come on in, partner. No, don't mind the shackles on the floor. No. Yes, no, that is where you need to stand.
They're to keep you safe.
Exactly.
They're
Thank
to keep
you.
safe.
Thank you.
They're to keep you strapped in.
Yep.
They're to keep you so you don't put
it's
your
turbulent round here.
don't put your arms outside of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Don't put your arms outside of the podcast.
No. Oh, here he goes.
You having a little turn?
Here he goes.
You having a
Turning
little
of the
turn?
ball.
The turning
Here he
of the
is.
beam.
Hi, baby. Yep.
That's no good.
Okay. Well.
That's no good for anyone.
Well. Do you have anything you want to say? Do you have loads of thoughts and feelings too? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of feelings.
Do you have opinions?
He has a lot of feelings that he likes to make.
Oh, he has a lot of feelings. Yeah, he does.
He's
wow.
very vocal about how he feels.
He really is. That's all you'd get. 10-hour whimper
10
audio.
hour, yeah, from my dog. What are you doing?
Like, comment, subscribe if you want 10-hour whimper audio from this dog. Because, hey, listen, he could. Oh dear. Oh, is the leg going? Is he scritchy?
I mean, he's scritchy, but the leg ain't going.
Oh, the leg.
Yet.
I thought the leg was going. I thought you were going to see the leg going. Oh, is the leg going?
Not yet.
Oh,
it's close.
Oh, hold on.
Close. I don't think he's in the position to oh, the leg's up slightly. Problem is, he's
gosh.
not sat right to do it. His bum's too
so
high up.
Scrungly. Goodness.
He's very scrungly. What
wow.
Are you doing?
Well, hello. Hi, everyone. How are we doing? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead of you. What are you up to? I saw someone comment saying last week when I was like, what you eating? You were literally took your first bite of your food and I looked you deep in the soul. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it's because we're connected.
I know what you're eating. I know you're putting something in your mouth right now.
Exactly.
You dirty dog.
Oh. Yeah, no, I know. We're connected via blood. That blood you left on the doorstep, that's mine. So there you go. How are you?
Great. I wish my dog would stop licking himself on the podcast.
Do we need to clap out?
I think we're okay. Stop it. Stop doing that.
Yeah, you know what? He'll randomly just be like, my feet,
Not
the
even
most
his feet.
delicious
He's like,
thing.
I just want to lick the bed. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Stop
why.
licking your mother's blanket.
Yeah, this is, by the way, the blanket I sleep in every night, and we drag it out here every podcast, and we sit on it.
I mean, the dog sleeps on it anyway, so stop it.
I know, but then this couch, listen, this couch, when we're not sat on it, is 100% the dog's.
Yeah.
Does it smell a little funky in this corner? Yeah, maybe it does.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, maybe it's smelling a little funky right here.
I can't believe you'd say that about my dog.
Yeah, but listen, such is life, and it's smelling a funk up in here. Should we get rid of him?
No, it's okay. He'll stop any second now.
Will he?
Any second now, he'll stop.
Will he?
I can guarantee it. I can guarantee you. They'd be devastated if you kicked him out.
True. Well.
The dog makes ratings go up.
Oh, I see. Right. I see. Okay. So he's a paid actor.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
he
Yeah,
is a paid actor.
Sure. Well, gosh, hey, a lot of things have happened since we last seen you.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious me. The biggest thing, one of the biggest things we've ever achieved in our career so far, I would say, is we published the first episode of our actual play of The Ascension of Farador.
We did, and I will say that it has been so far extremely well received.
It has.
Which, thank you so much to everyone who joined us on Twitch. It hasn't been Saturday yet, so we haven't uploaded it to YouTube just yet.
Yes. At the time of recording, it hasn't gone up on YouTube yet either.
But thank you so much to all the people who watched it live, all the people who watched it afterwards, all the people who have just been very, very nice to us about it and really enjoyed it and stuff. It means a lot because putting yourself out on the internet after doing 2 years of a podcast about D&D, you almost build up a bit of pressure for yourself about putting your game out there.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I didn't expect to be as nervous as I was.
Yeah, you were really nervous yesterday.
I was really nervous. Like, filming it, not nervous at all. Setting up mechanically, it wasn't nerve-wracking. It was stressful.
Yeah.
I felt a lot of feelings leading up to it for the past 6 weeks leading up to it, I would say, that haven't been nervousness
Yeah.
until it was 10 minutes before we were going live on
It
Twitch.
was about an hour before.
Yeah.
The prior hour, you were freaking out.
I was tweaking out.
Yeah.
I was tweaking out a little bit. I don't know what it was. And I think I did manage to pinpoint what I was feeling a little bit after I kind of sat with it and thought about it. Was, again, we've been doing this podcast for 2 years and we've been streaming for a year, and we started our Patreon where we gave you campaign updates, and we had all of that reception, and then we did the Dark Art, and it was a similar feeling to when we did the Dark Art one shot, which was just a 2-player game between me and Jack. I think I worried that we'd hyped it up so much, and there was so many expectations whichever way about the game. I was like, whoa, what if we've hyped this up too much?
Yeah.
Like, what if that's the case? But it wasn't.
It didn't seem to be.
It simply wasn't.
One of my favorite things, because obviously on Patreon we do, like you said, the round table, the campaign updates that are turning into the round table. And what I was fearing was people just really enjoyed the
story time of it all.
Yeah, the story time of it all. But afterwards, people were like, that was so much better than getting the recap. Which was
honestly a relief to hear. I knew it would be, and that's the thing. I knew what we have as a D&D group is amazing. I know we have great chemistry. I know you're an incredible DM. I know we're strong role players and strong players in general. I know all of that. And I have never had a doubt in my mind about our capabilities as a group, right? That's why we even started to think to do a actual play, because I have so much belief and so much faith in us. I always have. But I don't know what it was. In that moment, I was just like, man, what if I'm wrong? I think that's what it was. What if I'm wrong? What if people don't get the nuance between our characters and maybe even our sense of humor? Like, what if people just don't jive with it?
Yeah.
But you did.
Yeah, you did. And you all seem to really enjoy it. And I love you all very much for making our friends feel very comfortable.
Gosh, very much so.
2 of them were in there the whole time watching it.
Yes, Josh and Matthew were in there the whole time. And
I feel like they got the sense of exhilaration.
They got the squaddy B treatment. Yeah, they really did.
Having people be really excited about things that they do.
Yeah, they really did.
So thank you so much.
Indeed, thank you.
If you haven't checked it out, it's the VOD is up on Twitch now, or you can go and watch it on YouTube. Either one. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you enjoyed it. Don't tell us if you didn't enjoy it. Because we don't care. But yeah, amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, indeed. It was a really exhilarating feeling. And again, no spoilers, especially because we can't expect everyone to have seen the full 5 hours of it now. But you know, there's a big moment at the end of the session. Yeah. There's a huge reveal. There's a big lore drop. There's some interactions that are really intense. And having the knowledge that was coming and waiting and watching to see how people reacted to it, I think was the biggest anticipation for me. And it felt great. So thank you. Thank you so much for supporting us and showing up for us and just being as enthused as we are. It really, really, really means a lot.
Yeah.
So on that topic, the second episode of the Ascension Faradot is going to go live on Twitch this Thursday. Don't know what the date is. I'm so sorry.
7 days after the 6th.
Yeah.
That'll be
the 13th.
Well, Friday. Oh God.
I don't know. This coming Thursday. Oh, but then again, what if you're not watching it? Hold on.
9th is Sunday.
Hold on.
10th is Monday.
The 13th. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Nice. Well done.
Thursday the 13th is going to be episode 2 of the Ascension of Farador. That premieres live on Twitch. We would love to have you. It was so much fun having everyone react in real time. But if you can't make it, that is fine. The VOD is going to be uploaded the Saturday the 15th here on YouTube for everyone to watch at your leisure. Update on the Patreon stream next Tuesday, the 18th. So as you know, our Patreon and our YouTube members, the Moon Druid tier and up, you get access to our monthly roundtable live stream, where it's always going to be me and Jack and any combination of the party, depending on their work schedules, etc.
Yeah.
Very pleased to announce Matthew and Abby are going to be joining us for the very first roundtable.
Yeah, they will be.
So get your questions ready.
We'll be shooting it, we think, on the set.
Yes.
So, and we'll all just have like chats open for us to look at and stuff like that. So we'll be sat around the table where we play normally. We might have moved up here by then.
Yes.
So,
well, that's the next thing I want to talk about.
Yeah. We think oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
We're thinking about, well, we're not thinking about, tomorrow we're putting into action moving the set up here because this is a pretty low maintenance set. It's this thing and this.
Yeah.
And
there's not to it. We literally,
it's a super easy set to maintain. It's a super easy set to fit in places.
Yeah.
Because it's not a wild set. The set for the actual play with the table, the 4 chairs, all the mics, the cameras, the TV, the backdrop, and things like that.
It's a huge production.
It's not a huge production, but it's far bigger than this.
Yes, it very much is.
So we're thinking that we're going to move that into this room.
Yes.
And we're going to move this downstairs.
Into your office. Yeah, exactly. If you don't know kind of the layout, the actual play is filmed where we used to film the podcast on our dining room table. And man, it's a relatively large space. But
the problem is it's our kitchen area.
Exactly.
It's our kitchen dining room area.
Exactly.
So it's just like there all the time.
And that's why we actually moved the podcast away from there, because we hated having the light set up. We hated having, because we're still at a point where we're sharing equipment between everything. But like,
that's okay. It's like these 2 microphones and these 2 box lights.
Yeah.
So that's easy enough to switch between. I don't mind bringing up the box lights and bringing up the mics and stuff like that.
Me neither.
But it's the having the actual play in there,
our living space.
It's such a big thing.
It is a huge thing, and it's very stressful. And then the dog likes to get stuck under all the wires. So we're going to move it up here. We've done the measurements. We think it's right. You're never going to know until you actually fully get it moved and see.
Usually with us, we over measure.
Yeah.
To be really safe. So I think we've over measured quite a lot to make sure it fits in here. I think it'll fit in here no problem at all.
Yeah.
Because I think this space is just as, if not bigger than, it feels wider than that space that we play in.
I have no perspective, unfortunately. I can't picture how things are going to look, so I have to physically do them. So we are going to move this. If you don't know where we are right now, if you've ever come to our stream, you'll see that we're in the same room that we stream from. Behind you is the stream setup, and it faces out into here. So the stream setup, it's all the same room. And I'm really excited to move it up here. And if we do move it up here and it's successful, we can actually decorate it to be a little bit more themed. I think, which I'm very, very excited for.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So a lot of things happening. Now, we are going to try and see if we can film the podcast on the same set as the actual play. I think that would make our lives ultimately so much easier. That does mean, though, that the dog won't be on the podcast anymore. If that's the case. And I don't know how we all feel about that, to be honest with you.
That would be pretty sad, because I feel like he really
enjoys
enjoys being on the podcast, because he gets to just sit. His favorite thing to do is just sit with us.
Yeah, he does enjoy being on the podcast.
You can see, he knows we're talking about him.
Yeah.
As you can see, he just likes to chill out with us.
Yeah.
So taking that time away from him would be sad, but I think being able to, I don't know if you want to commit to that, because I think that we could have it downstairs easy peasy and it wouldn't take up any space, because it would just be in my office.
Yeah, I do agree.
I genuinely believe that having the 2 separate would be better.
Yeah, probably.
And we know that this fits in my office.
Yeah, probably. I won't know, though, until we actually see it. That's my problem. I'm so bad. I'm really good at planning many things. Like physical spaces, I'm so bad at. I can't picture it.
One thing we will have to do is move that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's easy, question mark. Listen, have we roped Jack's parents and Abby into helping us move? Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, we have.
It's all happening tomorrow. So.
It is all happening literally tomorrow, the day of filming. So next time you see us on the podcast, we very well might be downstairs.
Yeah.
But you probably wouldn't notice, though.
I mean, you will notice it'll be slightly different.
Yeah.
But it will still be
this
exact
set, pretty much.
It will still be this settee with this.
Yeah.
And all of this stuff on. And
yeah.
So
Indeed.
it won't really look. The walls might be slightly closer in.
Yeah.
But that'll be it, because
yeah.
I think the garage is slightly slimmer.
Yes, it is.
Garage office.
So you'll see. Hey, you'll see. But please, bloody hell, wish us luck. I mean, it'll already be done. But wish us luck, because I think we're probably gonna need it, because there's a lot a lot of things to sort out.
Yeah.
But all in a day's work.
It'll all be good.
It will all be good.
Yeah, so thank you so much for all the love that you've shown for our actual play.
Indeed.
Go and check the actual play out.
Yes.
We're really, really proud of
Yes.
it. We think it's a really great representation of how we play.
I agree.
Everyone who's watched it seems to really enjoy it.
Yeah,
We got a lot of hype. We got a lot of messages from people saying that they've watched many actual plays, but it seemed to keep them extremely engaged.
Thank you.
Which is very
Thank
sweet.
you.
We
Thank
are a particularly I know we do role play a lot,
Yeah.
but we are quite a fast paced group.
We are, yeah.
There's
and
always
we're also
something to do.
So goofy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how goofy we were. Really.
Yeah, we like to we're just a bunch of friends having a good time.
True, very
So
true.
yeah, we like to crack a lot of jokes. But there's always something to do. I like that to be the case as the Dungeon Master.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a huge amount of just downtime. But yeah, people seem to really enjoy it. So thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, please consider becoming a channel member.
Oh my gosh,
by clicking the join button down below. It is basically a complete mirror of our Patreon.
Exactly,
so you'll get access to roundtables, exclusive advice streams that me and Margaret do and things like that. It's a great way to support the channel.
Yeah, and you know what? I think, honestly, one of the funnest things about the YouTube membership is whenever you leave a comment on the YouTube channel, you have a little badge next to
you
your
have a
name.
little diamond next to your
And you can use the emotes, which I think is so fun.
That is a lot of fun.
And oh my gosh, yeah.
And you get that on the restful tier, which is the bottom tier.
Yes,
so.
exactly. Last time we saw you, I think we would... Yeah, we didn't even know if we had launched it at the time we saw you.
Like, we've applied,
yeah,
but we don't know if we've got them.
But I said that we need two YouTube members to be able to unlock the 5th emote of Jack, and we did. So thank you.
So much.
Thank you. So now there's all 5. There's all 5 emotes.
Check out our merch at www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. It's another great way to help us. Patreon memberships, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. All that stuff helps to push the video out to all the beautiful people in the world. So thank you very much.
Indeed. And with that, let us get into topic.
Thank you so much to all our patrons and YouTube members.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
Gain exclusive access either on Patreon or become a channel member here on YouTube for perks like channel badges and emotes on YouTube.
You get 2 extra and exclusive monthly live streams, including a roundtable with a cast of our D&D actual play, The Ascension of Farador, for all of your burning questions.
As well as an intimate D&D advice live stream where we can answer your D&D questions in depth and one-on-one.
If you would like to support us directly and gain access to these perks, check the link in the description to go to our Patreon or simply click the join button here on YouTube.
Thank you.
So, today we are doing the top Reddit posts for D&D.
Very good.
This is, once again, it's a mix of, like, stories, questions, am I the assholes? Just funny things. And then also at the end, we always shout out 2 artists or small businesses, which we have done. I haven't shown you them, I realize.
You can just turn that around and I can see them.
Yeah. We'll get to that bridge when we cross it. Yeah. So, starting off with, the topic of this post is called, what is your biggest DMing pet peeve? What is something that players do in games that really grinds your gears as a DM? Personally, it drives me crazy when players withhold information from me. Look, guys, I know I'm controlling the bad guys, but I'm not the bad guy. If you want to do something or make something work, talk to me. Trying to spring stuff on me that you've been holding on to doesn't make you clever. It just ends up making me grumpy, especially if it's not going to work.
That is, see, the thing is, it's tough for me because my players don't do this anymore at all. I think there was a small amount of this in campaign 1, but I think everyone very, very soon realized that I am, like, if you want something to work, the one person that should know is me.
Yes, totally.
Because I can facilitate it working.
Yeah.
I can get the right roles for you. I can, tell you the sequence of events that needs to happen to get to that point.
Yeah.
I can be clued in, so when you do it, I can maybe even amp it up.
Totally.
And, I know what's going to happen, so I can add the drama.
Yeah.
I can add the sauce for you to make it better. I play the bad guy.
Yeah, but you're not the bad guy.
I'm the narrator. I'm the storyteller. Yeah. So if you're doing something in the story, I can help you tell it.
Yeah, you can facilitate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I think this absolutely all springs from players who have had experiences with DMs, and we all know the type of DM who will take what you say, and because you haven't said it exactly right, it's like that I open the door and then the DM's like, well, you walk into it because he didn't say that you grabbed it by the door handle and opened it. You know, it's players who have been stung by that, I think.
It's what it is players who like to concoct plans. They like to think they've got I've got a big brain play, and it's like, cool, but I can't let the Dungeon Master know, because if the Dungeon Master
They'll
knows,
think of ways to counter
they're going to counter me.
Yeah.
And there are Dungeon Masters out there that do that. Yeah. And if you do that, you're sabotaging your players' trust to the point where they want to do this.
That's it. I was going to say it's all trust, right? Like
trust.
We know if we want to try and do something, and you know, if you ever didn't want us to, you would simply just say no to us. Like, we have that level of communication where you're happy saying no, but at the same time, I can't foresee a situation, unless it's something really ridiculous, stupid, like sabotaging the party or the game or whatever. You would say no. You would at least try and put it to a roll or something like that.
This is the thing. You know, if I say no, there's a reason.
There's a
because
reason.
I don't really say no very often.
No.
And you guys don't really do things that are stupid enough to need me to say no.
No.
But you know, if I say no, it's because there's an actual reason I'm saying no. I'm not just saying no because I don't want you to. I'm saying no because.
Yeah.
And I'll usually give you that reason.
And we are the plan concoctors. We're concoctors. We like to think of, I would say, especially in combat, we like to be like, oh, can we try this thing, or could I try that, etc., etc. Like, we like to come up with a plan. So we always include you because, I think blindsiding your DM often could lead to this scrambling and not knowing what to do, and the initial reaction of, well, no, because you've tried to pull the wool over my eyes. I think it's just a matter of trust.
Yeah. And that is, I play the bad guy. I am not the bad guy.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not here to work against you. I'm here to work with you. I'm here to tell the story that we're all telling together. Yeah,
totally. The next one. Maybe this is because I play with engineers, but trying to specify your way in and out of situations. It's never, I want to do X. It is instead, does the room have a window? Sure. Okay, is the window slightly ajar? Yeah, why not? Okay, is the window frame made of oak? Okay, what the fuck are you trying to do? Which I think is kind of in a similar vein.
It's in a similar vein.
It's like
one. It's like you're asking all these cryptic questions because you're clearly trying to get some information out of me.
It's like you're trying to double bluff them
you're
into
trying to
giving
get
you
the
some
information. You're trying to not tell me what you want until I tell you what you want to know. And then it's like, I'm going to do this. And I go, oh, no, you can't do that. But then you go, yeah, but you told me this. It's like, just tell me what you want to do. Tell me your intentions and we can try and make it work.
And to be fair, sometimes I understand reverse engineering it, right? Like unintentionally being like, okay, is there a window? And then okay. Or is it slightly open? I very much actually understand that, like reverse, like doing it backwards.
I get that.
But then, is it made of oak? So what?
See,
what's your plan here?
This exact thing actually happened to me in a session that you haven't seen yet. Session 2.
Right.
You know the thing that happened.
Yes.
The thing towards the beginning of the session where we were all like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Matthew.
Yes.
Basically said, okay, I do the thing. Is there this in there? Is there this in there? Can I see this? And I'm like, yeah. And then he went, okay, I'm going to do this. And all of us were like,
Yes. I do. But I also think that's him just working through it backwards, honestly.
Yeah. And I don't like, I know that my players are never going to do something that they know that I would be upset with and stuff like that. And if I was, I would just let them know.
Yeah.
So when Matthew did something like that, it wasn't to that degree. It made out of oak? It was just very, very normal questions.
Yeah. But pointed questions for a reason. For a reason.
Check out the Ascension of Arda.
Yeah, I think that actually really closely ties in with the first one.
Yeah, I agree.
Of not
like just tell me. Tell me what you want.
Yeah. But sometimes people have to work through it first to work out actually what they want to do. Do you know what I mean? Some people need all the information before they actually make the decision.
Formulate the plan.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, a little bubbin.
Oh, here he is. God, he stinks, by the way.
He does, but that's because he's a little smelly old man.
So bad.
Do you want me to move you just slightly in front so you can lay down? Or do you want me to leave
him.
Okay, I'll leave him.
Leave him.
Okay.
Look at him.
He's so cute.
He looks so sad. When does he not?
Sure.
The next one is, okay, me. The bandit goes running through the stone halls as you give chase. He rounds the corner ahead, and as you follow, you turn to see a surprisingly large room. Player, oh, what's in the room? Me, I was about to. Other player, yeah, wait, where did the bandit go? Me, well, I was going. A different player, I wonder if he teleported away somehow. They don't mean to do this. They are just engaged and excited.
Yeah.
God damn, it's annoying. Sometimes they will ask a question that was literally going to be
answered.
the next word out of my mouth.
Yeah.
At this point, if they start doing it, I just stop talking and wait. They usually realize after 1 or 2 more questions that I'm waiting for them to shut the fuck up so I can provide a description.
That is it. Like, I do it all the time.
We do this all the time.
You lot do it all the time.
All the time.
Like, okay, you see a big room, and then Matthew will start to be like, oh, and then you'll start to say something, and I'll just go, okay, give me a second.
You're like, wait.
Give me a second. I'll tell you.
You say the next word, and we go, ah.
People, I think it's because a lot of it is like, I think a lot of this comes from the Dungeon Master is talking, and if I don't interject right now,
yes,
they're going to narrate the bandit getting further away, and we haven't acted.
Exactly.
Oh, are they within 120 feet? Oh, give me a second. It's like I'm not going to let them get away narratively.
Yeah.
Just because my description took longer.
Yes.
I'm just trying to describe to you what you see when you cross around the corner because there's something important that you do see.
Yeah.
But the bandit is still there. Don't worry, the bandit isn't getting away.
I think it's cogs turning a million miles an hour for the players, and we do this all the time. There's been so many times where we've been like, yeah, but what does this look? Oh, is that there? And you're like, and then this, and we're like,
that's what I said. I say, okay, give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just calm them down for a second.
And it is genuinely out of excitement, and it's because we're engaged.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you know,
I don't mind it, but yeah, I get that it's because you're like worried that something's gonna happen in that narrative time. And, you know, maybe if it does, you know that there was a reason that I did it for the narrative timing. Like, oh, they got away or something like that. Or there's a reason. Otherwise, the bandit will still be in the exact same place.
Yes.
Because no time's actually passed. I'm just telling you what you're saying.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I totally get it. But, man, yeah, we do this.
All players do this.
Often.
It's because you care. That's why
it is. I can see why it's annoying as fuck. But, yeah, it is. It is because we care. On this is the penultimate for this actual section. Deer in headlights when I say, you're up in initiative. What are you doing? As if I don't, sorry. Oh my God. Take 2. As if I don't clearly have visible character and enemy markers keeping track of initiative along with a heads up to look at the person up on deck. Sorry, don't know why I couldn't read that.
I don't understand what you mean.
Sorry. When people are a deer in the when people are a deer in the headlights when I say you're up in initiative, what are you doing?
As if there isn't a tracker that shows them.
As if I don't have clearly visible enemy and character trackers, and also giving players a heads up to the person who was on deck.
Yeah. I don't care as much about that because some people just naturally take a little bit longer in combat.
Yeah,
like there's some people who they aren't just I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna smash, or they like try to defensively think about things. It's like we come to your turn and you're like, I'm going to run up and smash it because that's what you like to do. You like to just go up and do loads of damage.
I do.
Whereas I think Josh tries to maybe help out people with his utility and things. I'm not saying, don't take it like I'm saying that you don't help out, but you know, he'll like bait and switch to give people AC.
I don't help out, by the way. Just so you know, I don't.
Or he'll bait and switch, or he'll use his action to dash and then action surges attack, so people have disadvantage on him and things like that. He likes to just maybe think other ways. Right? He knows that just doing damage isn't the way that's going to win the fight, but that's because he knows that you're just going to do all the damage.
Yeah.
And then there's Matthew who does no damage really and tries to do everything else. Tries to do the third objectives. Tries to do so. there's some turns that are going to be a little bit simpler.
Yes.
Like yours and Abby's usually, because you like to do damage.
Yeah.
It's what makes you happy.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
I also, I play an Arcfey Warlock. Right now I have Misty Step, and that's kind of it. I have Hex, I have Misty Step, and that's all I have. And I like that. I like it like that. Hey.
I like it like that.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
also, you like to do a lot of talking
I do.
in initiatives.
I do.
If there's something that can understand you, you like to say things out loud and try and provoke the bad guy or get some information out of the bad guy and things like that. So your turn may take slightly longer because you want to think of something to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everyone's just a little bit different. But yeah, I do. For us in the first round of combat, I don't have the tiles up yet, so you don't know the initiative order.
Yeah.
But in the second round of combat, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be annoyed though.
I will say, going first in combat sucks. I hate going first in combat.
Why?
I don't know. I have gone first in the last couple of combats we've done, and I just don't like it.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it because you're usually the one to find out the mechanic of the fight?
No, it's not even that. I don't know. I think I just like being a little further back so I can see the lay of the land a bit more. Even though, I think it's unfair to say that my turns are simpler because they're not. But
No, they're not. But they're simple and straightforward are two different things.
Yeah. I think, there's less that I can do in a turn. But even then, I think, I don't know. I hate going first in combat.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like it because I think it's just naturally just a bit more pressure.
Yeah.
And again, when you have fights, I do try and introduce some sort of mechanic into each fight.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you go first, you're the first one to find out that mechanic.
True. You know what? It's not even that though. I actually find finding the mechanic very exciting.
Yeah.
Like I like that in combat. I don't know. I think I just like to see what other people do first.
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
Yeah, which I don't know. How about you? How do you feel about going first in combat? Because I know Matthew also hates going first in combat.
That's because he's a wizard, though.
True, and he typically plays like a spellcaster who very much benefits from not going first.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
sees the lay of the land, does the CC spell, or something like that.
Yeah. What's with this boy? Oh my gosh. Just so you know, he stood behind you scream crying.
Shh.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not time yet. Time for lunch.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh dear. You know what? Because he's deaf. He's quite deaf.
Yeah.
When he cries, he doesn't realize how loud he's crying, and he screams. By the way, and he's screaming. So, and the last one in this topic is disengaging from social encounters just because you're not the charisma guy.
Yeah, I think not all social encounters need a check.
Yeah.
Like a lot of social encounters just are talking, learning information, getting information, just conversation, learning about where we are, learning about what the political structure is here, where I can find the shop, things like that. Like none of that needs a check. You're only going to be going into checks and things like that if you are genuinely trying to deceive or persuade. and things like that.
If you're specifically maybe after something.
None of my players do this, which I'm really thankful for.
God, no, absolutely.
You all like to talk to NPCs.
Yeah, we do. I think I understand that this was kind of like on the topic of a pet peeve, but I think it's unfair to expect the players without charisma to not get involved too. I think it goes two ways.
The flip side.
Yeah. I think you should always, if you want to get involved, you should. You don't have to be spec'd into charisma to have a conversation.
No,
definitely not.
But I think you always spec into charisma, and then we'll chance it. If you can,
if
you want to get something out of a conversation or something like that, you will try, and then I think that person leading that is good because you give yourself the best chance to succeed.
Yeah. In situations where we know we have an objective that we want to get out of someone, we'll send the warlock who has the high charisma,
or send the bard, or send the sorcerer, or the paladin.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. What about you? Is there any DMing pet peeves you have?
You know mine.
I know exactly what you're going to say. And that was an example of that, and I left it out intentionally because I knew you were going to say it.
I wish me not say the thing you're going to think I'm going to say. So I think you probably will. But you know me. I am a bad guy sympathizer. I'm a...
Oh, this is not what I thought.
I'm a there's two sides to every story kind of guy.
Yeah.
My bad guys usually have a reason.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good reason or not, that's the point. They have a reason. And to them, it's a good reason. And that's why they do the things they do. So when people are just like, when people wouldn't look at my bad guys through their lens, or even try and look through it with their lens, that annoys me.
Yeah.
Because I do go out of my way to try and think of a reason for all my bad guys.
Yes.
Whether it's big or small, whether it's just a minor villain or a major villain, they're going to have a reason.
Yeah.
And just because that reason doesn't resonate with you, doesn't mean that reason doesn't resonate with them.
Yeah.
And people who don't try and put themselves in the bad guy's shoes annoys me.
Yeah, totally. And I would like to think that we're very good for this.
You guys, here's the thing, and I'm going to big up my party here because I love them very much. And if anything, you all enable me. You enable me to make some great bad guys because they are nuanced sometimes.
Yeah.
And they do have very, very, very intense beliefs sometimes, completely unfounded, maybe. Completely horrendous and maybe even dictatorship and stuff like that. But you guys are like, you guys will seek out the reasoning and won't agree with it maybe, but you'll understand.
Yeah, and I think a really great example of this, my favorite BBEG, maybe ever, we're not even close to knowing BBEGs of this campaign, but Angerboda will always be, I think, my favorite BBEG.
I think, and that's the thing, like that whole campaign was centered around her.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing with campaign 3 wasn't really a BBEG.
No.
There was just situations and things like that. So with Angerboda, I was like, I'm gonna lay it on thick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make her like have been wronged.
Yeah.
I'm gonna and that was the thing. You could really sympathize with her.
Yeah, very much.
You could really get on her level and be like, do you want to know what? I get it.
Yeah.
And
we all did.
And I really, 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 really tried that whole campaign to make her that villain, and she was.
And she was. Yeah.
And to everyone in my party, I think you all say like she's probably one of the best villains that I've ran, and I agree.
Yeah,
I think she is.
Obviously, no idea for campaign 4, like the Ascension of Farador, who even the players are. I have a suspicion.
So I will say that there will be in this campaign there will be BBEGs.
Yeah.
It's not just eventually it'll narrow down to a specific plot, but there'll be so many different plots that we'll go through. There'll be many different bad guys and stuff like that. But I learned a big lesson from campaign 2. While yes, Angerboda was a great BBEG, the campaign was so focused on her that it was really hard to stray away away from that main plot line. That really basically set that campaign on a really linear path, which I don't want to do again. Because while I did enjoy Angerboda, I think it was the campaign I enjoyed the least because I boxed myself in so much.
I also can't help but feel like that's maybe a pressure you set on yourself, because if you had put other things in front of us, we would have done them. And happily as well. I
agree, but I wanted to build it was more like I wanted to build her up so much, everything funneled through her,
right,
which sort of boxed me in as a dungeon master,
I see
sort of thing. I wanted to tie everything into her, and
that,
by doing
that doesn't
but I learned something as a dungeon master throughout that campaign, as we all do, that I think having one BBEG is not the way I like to tell a story. My favorite story that I've told so far was last one, where it was just all these different threads that were because of a situation that tied together. They did, but there was just different people to explore, which I just enjoyed.
I very much agree. I do like the traditional one big BBEG, but I think that's because I look so fondly on Angerboda.
There'll be a main BBEG of this campaign.
Which I think campaign 3 didn't have. I don't think campaign 3 had a main BBEG. I think the whole story, and the story of campaign 3 was also my favorite story.
I agree.
Was what happens when the world goes to shit. Who rises to power, who doesn't, who uses it to take advantage of people, and who doesn't, and I love that type of storytelling. But I don't know, Angerboda, she hits different. It still makes me really emotional thinking about Angerboda.
Me too.
And I think she was a great villain. That wasn't what I thought you were going to say.
What do you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say when players don't have a reason to adventure.
Oh my god, yeah. Fucking.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
That is one of my least, like, my job isn't to tell you, isn't to make you
to
adventure.
keep you here, yeah.
My job is to have the adventure ready.
Yeah.
But you need a reason to go on it.
Yeah, totally.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
That is
that
one
was,
of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah, that was very much a sentiment that was in this as well.
100%.
All right, the next post. It's titled, "Man's build was so bad the DM had to plan around 3 combatants instead of 4.
No.
Intentionally took this player intentionally took Constitution and Intelligence and as a dump stat for a wizard. They wanted to be the persuasive and dexterous blade singer, but she also wanted the fact that she wasn't good at spellcasting to be a defining characteristic for her. We told her to just play a rogue, but they wouldn't budge. They die very early in many fights because they give the DM no reason to go around them to attack us, as they're like a rabid hamster in the opponent's face, slashing away or casting spells with pathetically low saves. Yes, she does have fun even when she goes down, but I told her that I'm having to waste costly resources just to keep her alive each combat. I eventually just said, if you go down next combat, I only have 1 diamond left. I'm not going to waste it on a liability.
Oh, this person's not just going down, they're dying.
Dying.
Oh, okay. Oh my god.
Either stay in the back with a bow or cast spells from there. And I also said, out of character, your character is persuasive and combined with my cleric's religion. That's the only reason my character hasn't left them to die after the 3rd Leroy Jenkins. It won't happen a 4th time. For clarity, we did try to get her to play a swords bard, a rogue, and other classes. She doesn't listen to our requests, that she does not go head on into crowds of monsters, and the entire party has to keep babying her character, or she will inevitably die. It's been siphoning our fun, and we're going to have a meeting soon.
See, the thing is, right? You don't like in the 2014 version of the Blade Singer, you don't really need intelligence to be a super great Blade Singer. You do need some Constitution though.
Yeah, I know.
That's one thing you do need.
Yeah.
It's like, because you use your dexterity for your things. You can just use like cantrips. You can just like sling spells that don't need saves and things like that. You don't really need it. You can build one that isn't massively intelligent.
Yeah, and the flavor-wise, you don't have to be good at the Arcana and the history and intelligence.
The thing is, you need
Constitution. If you're going to be a wizard up in the front lines, and don't get me wrong, I understand that Blade Singer, you're the most equipped to be able to.
I'm like, you don't need your intelligence, but the whole thing is, you get the intelligence buff to your AC. So you do really need intelligence.
Because in your Blade Song.
Yeah, because when you go in Blade Song, you get the buff to the SC that's equal to your intelligence bonus.
Yeah.
Which means you're hard to hit, which means you're not supposed to get hit all the time as a Blade Singer.
And don't you add your intelligence to your attacks in Blade Song too?
That's the Unearthed Arcana version of the new one.
Oh, I see.
It's great because, the new one allows you to add your intelligence to your attacks instead of your dexterity, so you're not super mad.
Yeah.
But they've made something slightly worse. It probably balances out pretty equal in terms of power, but that one you absolutely need intelligence. It's tough because if she's having fun, even if she's going down, she's not like getting like really upset about it and stuff like that.
She understands why it's happening, but at the same time, being the liability for the party,
playing with 3 other people who don't want to play like that.
I know
there's a difference in play style here. Somebody's just having a good time, just running in and dying and like not being bothered. That doesn't matter. But everyone else is taking it really seriously. That's where the problem starts.
I agree.
Is that there's 2 different play styles trying to play at the same table.
Yeah, and OP even says like it's been siphoning our fun, and I can imagine it's exhausting.
Then that's
like to use not even just going down, dying to the point where you have to revivify them
3 times already.
Like, that is too much. And you're right. If everyone was like this and was like, whatever,
sending it every fight and not bothered, it
wouldn't matter at all. But it's the fact that not everyone is like that. Someone playing like that in our game, it simply wouldn't survive. And we would be very frustrated as players dealing with that too, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I know we would. And I really hope OP did have a conversation with this person, and because in my opinion, the conversation needs to be out of character.
100%, it has to be out of character.
And
and they're both valid play styles. Just sending it and having fun and just laughing about it is fine. But the problem is when you play that at a table with people who don't play like that, that's when the problems arise, which is exactly why we have problems here.
Yeah.
I just think that the decision needs to be made when one side outweighs the other.
Yeah.
And there's 3 players against 1 player, and it's just like, so the table plays that way, not this way.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, exactly. And, you know, like, this will just lead to further resentment. Like, not talking about it and just constantly doing this will just lead to, like, it's a snowball, isn't it? And then
I just don't get why, if you want to be a charisma spell sword, just
go Hexblade.
Just play Hexblade or play a Swordsbard. It's like, I just don't. You're saying that you want to be the wizard, but you're not doing anything wizardy.
Yeah.
You're not using your intelligence.
Yeah.
You're not casting spells.
Not casting spells. Yeah.
You're not.
Like, yeah.
You won't be able to do many Arcana checks. It doesn't sound like you care about those things.
Yeah.
So why are you playing a wizard? Is it because you want to be bad?
Maybe.
Because I get that. I get that sort of wanting to be the bad wizard.
Yeah.
There's a funny character to play there.
Yeah, and I think, to be fair, OP does say, like, she wants the fact she isn't a good spellcaster to be a defining character. So yeah, maybe it's just built into the character, you know?
Yeah.
But I also think there's a you know, flavor and actual mechanics are 2 completely separate things. You could totally be a sword. You could be a Hexblade.
Hexblade, Swordsbard.
Like, and have the exact same flavor, but actually excel at what you do.
But be really great at talking to people.
Yeah.
And it being very synergistic with your class.
Yeah, totally.
And, you know, still having spells that you can concentrate on and things like that. It's like, there's a class for you to play.
Yeah.
And you be perfect at everything that you want to be perfect at.
Yeah.
It's just not the one you're playing.
Yeah, I guess that you know, that makes me think they do just want to play like the character who is
bad.
Yeah,
sucky.
Like, which, like, you know, people do want to do.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey, look, could never be me, but some people do like to play like that.
There is a little bit of fun in that.
There is. But
there's a time and place for it, and the problem is it's not this table.
Yeah, I completely agree. Absolutely. The next one is an interesting one.
Go on.
Am I wrong for not falling for a nat 20 deception check? So I'm playing a Dragonborn Barbarian, and recently one of my PC companions died. The player wanted to create another character. It was perfectly fine. And another one of my PC companions wanted to skin the dead PC. Our DM made him roll a deception check to fool us into accepting it. I didn't have time to say that I wasn't okay with this, by the way, which he rolled a natural 20 for. We have never tried to convince or fool or intimidate each other, so this was a first. I wasn't okay with this because my character, even though they are an idiot, would not accept a dead ally to be skinned for who knows why. So I rolled to attack him with an unarmed strike. The session continued like normal, yet after the session ended, the DM and the player, who OP's just put in brackets, Skinner.
The Skinner culprit.
Not even the Skinner. Complained that I attacked him because I should have been fooled. Am I in the wrong for not being okay with another PC trying to deceive me like this?
I don't get why there was a deception check rolled, is the thing.
I think that's,
It's just like, I want to skin this enemy, and it's just like, well, I fundamentally, in my morals, disagree with that. I think that's the wrong thing to do. Or make me a deception check is just like, what are you trying to deceive? I'm still not going to think it's okay.
I also will say, not an enemy, it's another member of the party trying to skin another member of the party who has died.
Like, roll a deception check is like, roll all you want. I still don't think it's okay.
Yeah, and the thing is, I would actually understand the deception check if it was after everyone had gone to sleep, this player sneaks in and they get caught skinning, and then they can be like, oh yeah, roll a deception check to hide the fact that you were skinning them. But I mean, at the same time, I don't know how, like,
if they were like, oh, this person told me if I die on an adventure that you need to skin me and take my skin back to my family as proof of death.
Yeah.
That's what we do in my culture.
Yeah.
And then they make up the lie to find the reason to skin, but it doesn't sound like what they did.
No.
They were just
I mean, they tried to make a deception check to fool us into accepting it, which actually does kind of more align with what you were saying there.
I would accept it if that was the case. If you were telling a lie, that this person had told you as to try and get the party to say that this is what they would want, maybe.
Yeah. But
But
I
if
mean,
it's like, if you're literally just like, I want to skin them, but I don't want the party to know, then it's like, oh, try and give me a fool check.
yeah, but
I don't know.
also, you know, I actually do think it probably was something along the lines of what you said there, based on what OP has said, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But like, I also, is that just not really feels bad?
Yeah.
Like, let's say that happened in our party. Let's say Ranga fucking kicks it, and
Kicks the bucket.
Silence is like, I'm gonna skin him. There's no way, no matter what she says, even if she says something like that, and she rolls a natural, there's no way our characters would ever let that happen.
And
I don't think.
The thing is, right, I think I think we're pulling up the barbarian here, being like, oh, why did you unarmed strike me? I fooled you. It's just like, I think the onus lies on the skin. It's like, why do you want their skin?
That's a weird thing, my dude.
Why are you trying to skin an ex-party member who's just died?
But
it's like we're all grieving their death, and you're trying to skin them.
Yeah,
like I think the person.
Hey, that's weird.
I think the person who needs to have had a word with is you here.
Yeah, I wonder though, if let's say you take that exact situation and the silence rolls a natural 20, and one of us tries to stop it. What would your ruling on that? What would your opinion on that be?
This is what you do. With that situation, this is exactly what you do. Okay, you want to skin them. What are your intentions?
Yeah.
Hit them with Brandon. Because then when they have to say it out loud, when they have to say the weird thing that they're doing out loud, like, okay, you want to skin them. Okay, so what are you going to do with the skin? Yeah,
what if it's a genuine PC thing? Let's say this, I don't know, this person's I don't know. What if there's a genuine reason? Oh, my dark urge.
Don't make a shit PC. How about that? Don't make a PC that wants to fucking skin their fucking party members. How about that?
Yeah.
Like, I think there's ways. I always say there's ways to play evil characters.
Yes,
but
totally.
Just doing weird shit. Isn't an evil character. That's a shit character.
Yeah, that's just
in
weird
my
shit.
opinion.
No, I agree. I honestly, I understand when someone rolls a natural 20 and they auto succeed and it is a check. I do understand.
No such thing as an auto succeed on a skill check, and that's the point.
Yeah. But you know, I think we can argue natural 20 against some sort of check against a barbarian. I mean, I don't know. To be fair, I don't know. But you know, let's say in the typical conventions of this skill check has been succeeded. When someone does what OP does and doesn't allow them and like doesn't fall for it, I understand. But at the same time, this exact situation, my character would also not let that happen, regardless.
This is the thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to lie to the Celestial. There's some Celestials in the game that just they know a lie no matter what. Like, you cannot lie to them. It is just fundamentally something you cannot do. I roll a natural 20. Well, the Celestial still doesn't believe you. But I roll a natural 20. Doesn't matter. It's like, these things are just like, it doesn't matter sometimes how well you roll. Some things are just impossible.
Yeah.
And my character, who loved this person who's died, who stood by this person in every single fight, who connected with them on day one and stood by their side. You're telling me you want to skin them?
Yeah, and it's not going to happen.
It doesn't matter what you roll.
Yeah.
I will not allow that.
Yeah.
And that's just the way the game is.
Yeah, I agree.
And the fact that the dungeon master and the player are like, why did you do that? It's just like, why did I do that?
Yeah, that's so weird.
Why are you trying to skin my friend?
Skin him. What the hell?
Yeah, nah, don't like that.
Yeah, that's very, very, very strange. All right, this next one is, if I know one of my players has made a false assumption about something, is it my obligation as the DM to speak to them about it before it comes back to bite them?
No.
Long story short, one of my players made a literal deal with the devil and now considers his character and the devil to be business associates. From this, he's now asking favors from the devil and assuming the devil will just do them based solely on that assumption. To clarify, the deal made was carefully crafted by him specifically so that it was something entirely passive. The player's character doesn't need to actually do anything to uphold their end of the bargain, with the devil getting what they want more or less either way. As a result of this, I feel like the devil won't be inclined to do him any favors, since him being there or not won't make much of a difference to them at the end of the day. Exactly how obligated am I to tell my player that the devil won't respond to their requests the way that he thinks it will? I know people sometimes say to just tell a player if their character would know something they don't, but I'm not sure if this is one of those times.
I'm not 100% not one of those times. I think you play it out in roleplay. Like,
yes.
you make the request and the devil's like, I don't think so.
Yes, totally.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the devil's demeanor and the devil's responses to these requests or whatever, being the fact that they're just not going to do them, because that's not how this deal works.
Yeah.
Will show
Completely.
the player.
Yeah.
And if the player still doesn't get it, the insistent and the repeated lack of doing what the player wants will show them.
Yeah, totally. I think that's exactly what I would say as well. Is in roleplay, have the devil obviously be like, no, I don't think I want to do that actually.
Yeah.
You know, unless the devil actually seeks to gain something out of it.
Yeah.
I think that's a really great way to do it. I also think something like, if the player has asked for something and they assume the devil's done it, they can then
find out that the devil hasn't.
Find out, and then you can have a conversation of the devil being like, I said I wasn't going to do it, as I'm not going to do it because we're not business associates.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like you've got the wrong end of the stick here. But yeah, just somebody making... I've had it in my game before where in my first campaign, I don't know how it came about, but my players thought that my BBEG could just sense magic.
Oh, yeah.
They were like,
yes, we did.
Oh, we can't cast any spells around here because the BBEG knows that we're here.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I just let them roll with it, and they basically nerfed themselves for a couple of sessions.
Yes, we did.
Trying to do everything without magic.
Yep.
When one of them was a sorcerer, one of them was a paladin, and one of them was a druid.
Yes.
So they all had magic, and none of them were doing anything. And I was just like, at one point, it got to a point where it was a crucial moment, and I was just like, roll me a history check. And somebody rolled the history check really well. And I was like, you remember back to the moment that you first initially made this this rule up in your head? And I was just like, there was no confirmation from anyone at any point that this was the case.
Yeah.
And you were like,
interesting.
You just basically manifested this rule into existence.
We very much did. Yeah, we very much did. And, you know, I think, I don't know, I'm in two minds about this. I think if your players are obviously barking up the wrong tree to the fact where maybe they're wasting time, I think it's
situational. I agree.
Yeah, I think it all, to me, in my opinion, equals to time wasted, and potentially the feeling of, why did you let us bark up the wrong tree for so long?
I agree.
Because then it gets to a point where the reveal happens, and then you go, oh, so we've wasted so much time.
Yeah, I remember there was one situation, one story that we had where they'd gone to a camp or something, and they were there, and the dungeon master was basically letting them play out something that they didn't realize. Yeah, that's bad, because if there's information that you have given out as a dungeon master that they have wildly misconstrued in that moment, just confirming with them that isn't what it is. But if they have just, like my players, wildly thought of something, they're speculating, and then their speculation turns into, oh, well, that's 100% it. It's just like, there's no reason for you to not do it.
Yeah, without any testing, by the way.
Because, without any testing all. Because they're still going forward in the right direction. They're just hindering themselves whilst doing it.
Yeah.
Then you don't need to. You can if you want to. But, yeah, if you've given them some vital information, let's say, but they have misheard or misconstrued, you can definitely just be like, hey, just so you know, that's not what I meant. I meant this.
Yeah.
That is totally fine.
Totally. But
in this moment,
I think this is a fun way to learn and role play through this.
Yeah, through role play. Don't tell them, oh, hey, by the way, the devil's not going to do that.
Yeah.
Let the devil tell them they're not going to do that.
Yes.
Through role play. It's a way better way to do it. So
I completely agree.
They're getting the idea, they're getting the picture.
Yeah.
But through a storytelling way.
Yeah.
Instead of you just telling them above table.
You know, if, let's say, you do all the role play, the player still isn't getting it. I think showing them that the devil doesn't come through for them, and then having that conversation, and then above table being like, so yeah, maybe you don't trust the devil anymore. You know,
like the devil isn't good. The devil isn't your business partner like you thought they were.
The devil, they've really proven to you that then they're not your partner. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think that's a really fun thing to learn through roleplay, in my humble opinion.
I completely agree.
Yeah. All right, this is the This is the last one.
The last one?
This is the last one. This is the last one. And the title is 2024 Surprise Rules Don't Work. Looking at the new surprise rules, it seems odd when considering a hidden ambush by ranged attackers. For example, goblin archers are hiding along a forest path. The party fails to detect the ambush. As the party passes, goblin archers unload a volley of arrows. Under the old rules, the range attacks would all occur during a first round of combat, in which the surprised party of PCs, they would be forced to skip it, only able to act in the second round of combat. Okay, makes sense. Under the new rules, the PCs roll for initiative with disadvantage. However, let's assume they all still roll higher than the goblins anyway, which could happen. The party goes first. But what started the combat? The party failed the checks to detect the goblin ambush. They would only notice the goblins once they were under attack. However, the party rolled higher, so no goblin has taken its turn to attack yet. This places us in a paradox. In addition, if you run the combat as written, the goblins haven't attacked, so the goblins are still hidden. The party would have no idea where the goblins are, even though they won initiative. Thoughts?
Okay.
Look, this shit pisses me off.
Look, this shit is...
Hey, look, this shit pisses me off.
Look.
If you're going to criticize Wizards of the Coast and D&D in 2024, criticize it for actual valid things.
Yeah, like if you don't...
laying off staff.
Yeah,
like,
and, you know, using AI for Magic the Gathering fucking cards and stuff like that.
Criticize them for genuine things. Don't make some white room, like, in theory, for example, let's assume, and then make a statement like, these don't work. If you don't like 2024 rules, that's okay.
Well,
a lot of people don't.
If you do like 2024 rules, but this is what I just don't get. What I don't get, and I will say, there has been members of our community who've said a similar thing about the Ranger, and the way that they don't like the Hunter's Mark thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We used 5e for the longest time, and we all sit there and be like, 5e's poggers, it's the best fucking rule set we've ever had, and it's perfect, and I don't want to move away from it. Okay, so why did you homebrew so many things for it?
Yeah.
Because there's some things that you didn't like about it.
Yeah, and I agree with the Ranger Hunter's Mark thing, by the way. I totally agree with that.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine. That's fine. You can agree with that. I don't mind. I'm not saying that people are wrong, but what I do not understand is we said the 5e was poggers. We homebrewed loads of stuff for it because we didn't like certain things.
Because there was a lot of things that needed homebrewing.
There was a lot of things that needed homebrewing. So it wasn't a perfect system.
No,
so
nothing is.
We've moved into a 100% better system.
Yes, in my opinion.
Because it's fixed a lot of things that we didn't like about 5e and just made it standard rules. But there's some things that you don't like about it. And then we're like, oh, but we can't use this. It's just like, then don't.
Yeah,
just homebrew. If you don't like something about the rule set, but you like the rule set on whole, use the rules, but just homebrew some stuff.
Yeah.
We've always done that.
Yeah, and you know what? I think this is really trying to dumb down a DM here.
Yeah.
Being like, if you run it, rules is written, they're still hit how, and it's like, look, have you never heard of nuance? Have you never heard of improv? Like, there's so many ways you could rule this surprise attack in the game. Yeah, sure, they don't see the goblins, they hear them.
Yeah.
Maybe a goblin accidentally made a noise.
Like, it's like we play in a game where it's fantasy worlds. It's like the goblins are literally creaking their balls back about to make the attack, but one person still goes before the goblin. It's just like they have lightning fast reflexes.
Yeah.
They are a superhero in this moment.
Yeah.
They like use their capabilities, their blind sight, their alert feature or whatever it is.
There will be party members who absolutely go before the goblins.
Yeah.
There totally will be.
Just like one thing that, believe me, I've noticed in 2024 is there's so many ways to get sick initiative.
Yeah.
Like initiative and all of my players, I've got a dex strength-based fighter. I've got a warlock who has alert, so you have advantage on initiative, or you get to...
I don't have alert, no.
Why do you have such a good initiative?
Dex. I've got good dex.
You do have good dex, yes. You have good dex as a warlock.
Yep.
I've got a
Ranger.
I've got a Gloomstalker Ranger who's got like a +7 in initiative. And then I've got Matthew who still has a decent amount in his dexterity as well. It's like everyone has good dex in my party, so they all go early in the game.
Yep.
So it's just like hey, if you want the goblins to fire off arrows, then they fire off arrows, and then the party still has disadvantage.
I know.
It's just like
I think what annoys me about posts like this is it's totally okay not to like something.
Yeah,
if
like
you came out and you go, man, I don't like 2024 surprise rules anywhere near as much as I like 2014 rules, no one's going to dispute. Well, people, this is the internet, of course people will.
People will dispute.
People will dispute it, but that's okay. You're allowed to like 2014 surprise rules more than 2024 surprise rules. I don't like it when people try to veil these opinions with trying
Thoughts,
to say
opinions,
like objective fact that is not objective, because it's all very subjective. And like
we're stuck in a paradox, so the game just stalls and the universe doesn't move on from this moment because we don't know who can go first, and it's just like, shut up.
It's like you're not as smart as you think you're pretending to be.
You definitely don't fucking sound as smart as you think you do.
No, you definitely don't.
You sound like a fucking asshole.
And like, it's also like, the thing is, I do very much appreciate that some people do want to run things rules as written, and they don't like to homebrew things. I that's a very valid way to play.
Super fun.
But acting like DMs don't have any brains.
I know.
Like this is a paradox. This is rules as written. It's like, of course it's not. Of course it's not. And don't think that DMs are so stupid that they can't. This happens and everyone sits there going, well, it's over. What do we do now?
The game's over.
We can't actually proceed anymore.
A black hole swallows the game, and that's it. It's over.
Yeah, that shit pisses me off. If you don't like a 2024 rule, you are so valid in that. You really, really are.
Yeah, you don't want to use it, but look, if you don't like something in the game, use the 2014 version.
Totally.
Okay? If you don't like something in the game, homebrew it so it works for you. Like, we've done it for so long. So many people have got fixes out there all ready for 2024 and what they want to use instead. Like, do it. Use a different system if you don't like it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and you know, this places in a paradox. I think the language of this isn't trying to look for solutions to this. I think that's the difference.
They want to whinge.
Yeah, they're not looking for solutions. They're trying to do like a got you. Like, I've studied these rules.
I've gone through these rules and I found something that breaks the game.
I found a fundamental flaw. It's like, okay, well, why don't you be a game tester then?
And it's like, you haven't found a fundamental flaw. The game tells you that in this moment they don't fire the arrows off. The players just roll with disadvantage.
Yeah.
But you're just upset that they go before them when they were the ones. So it's just like, you're not in a paradox. You're just in a situation you don't like.
And then, you know, let's say worst comes to worst. You do run this exactly like this. All of the players have rolled before, all of the goblins, and your players go, well, where are they? You don't know. You can just dodge for the rest of the turn.
You dodge for the first.
You can do a perception check to see if you can see where they are. Like, it's not as if this is some sort of like dead stop in the game.
Apparently
like,
it is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And look, me and Margaret get frustrated by things like this because we are people. We don't. I think it frustrates both of us. Like, we like to just play these games and have fun.
Yeah, and by the way, like, yes, you can absolutely look critically at something, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, looking critically at something is actually important.
But I think there's been a lot of rhetoric about this is how I see it, and this might not be how everyone sees it, but I think there's a lot of people who dislike Wizards of the Coast.
Yes.
Fine.
Totally.
There's a lot of reasons to dislike Wizards of the Coast. So they then try and find faults in the game, and it's just like, your distaste for Wizards of the Coast is misplaced here. You're trying to find problems with the game because you're upset with Wizards of the Coast. It's like, be upset with Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Be upset. That's fine.
Yeah,
you can be upset. Yeah. I get it. But just trying to then shit on the game that we all love because you're upset it's misplaced.
Yeah.
It's just so misplaced.
And you know when you're in the shower and you make up conversations with people and you get really annoyed and you have fights with people in the shower? It's like this. It's like, you know, theoretically, for example, assume this happened because it could happen. It's like, yeah, it could. You're right. It could.
Yeah. You're right.
It could.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
It could. Yeah.
You're so right, King.
Yeah. And, you know, this is not me saying to not be critical of things, because absolutely, yes.
100%. I agree.
I think maybe being more honest about where your thoughts are coming from instead of veiling it under something. And, you know, hey, look, we are currently playing 2024 D&D rules. I love D&D 2024.
I love D&D.
I think, honestly, the changes in 2024 are great. Healing is better. Martials are better. Classes have been buffed. Everything's more in line. Everything's
the
more
monster manual's
balanced.
way better.
Yeah, the DMG is better. Like, listen,
It's all better. It's just better.
I enjoy actively D&D 2024. I do. That doesn't mean there isn't things I disagree with. Paladin Smite thing. Boo! Boo! The Hunter's Mark thing. Yeah, boo! There is definitely the new exhaustion rules. Boo!
I think we're all saying that we don't like the Hunter's Mark thing because we got the playtest that was really good.
I know, but that's
and
it.
then we went back on it. Yeah, I know. I get it. But if you really like the playtest, then play the playtest.
I completely agree.
I get that you don't like what they put in the book, but hey, you don't have to use it. You didn't use everything in that player's handbook on the end next to you, the 5e one.
Yeah.
So don't use everything in this one if you don't like.
I think sometimes, a lot of times, you don't ever have to justify why you don't like something.
No.
It's okay to simply say, hey, I don't like that thing.
Yeah, I'm not driving with this.
Yeah, totally
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's, you know what? I read it and I was like, I wonder how he's going to feel about that one.
But I also think, here's another thing. I think it's a taboo thing to say these days. I like D&D.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, I do too.
It's my favorite. It's the only system I've played, but I love it, and I don't want to go and find another system.
Yeah, and there is theoreticals of like, well, you could try another system and you could love it more, and it's like I definitely could,
but I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to.
So I like the system. It's fun. I've ran a lot of great games with it. The new system seems to improve on a lot of things from the other one.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for it, and like, I think that there's just so much negativity on the internet, and people just want to find bad stuff. It's like there's also loads of fucking great stuff in there though. It's like, and I think a lot of people would just generally be a lot happier in their lives if they weren't just always hunting for
the bad stuff. I completely agree. But
I think a lot of us could probably take a moment and be like, why am I looking for the bad things?
Yeah, oh my god, 100%.
There's nothing wrong with looking for the bad things.
No, absolutely.
But why don't you do the same thing with the good things?
When you're only looking for the bad things, that's when there's an issue. But I also think when you're only looking for the good things, that's when there's an issue too. There has to be balance. Like, listen, Wizards of the Coast, there is so many things I don't agree with. There's so 100%. Many things that they've done that I do not like, that I do not support. But Dungeons and Dragons, I do love. And I think I always will. Like, because it's my preferred game of choice, and that's okay as well. Like, there's nuance in everything.
100%.
There has to be nuance in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah. Well, the last two pieces of art, right? I'm gonna try and show you these now.
Yeah.
Okay, he has feasted his eyes.
My eyes have been feasted.
So these last two shout-outs are for artists, and the title of this one is When the Other Adventuring Party Enters the Tavern. Redrew one of my favorite paintings as my D&D group. I redrew one of my favorite paintings in a Roman osteria by Carl Bloch as my D&D party. The three people in the back are notable NPCs. The group were established as the Mean Girls early on, and it felt perfect for this scene.
It does give Mean Girls.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen the original painting.
I don't think I have.
I'm not really an art person. I appreciate art very much. Like, and I say classical art. And I'm not familiar with artists. I will say the original of this painting is one that I saw it, and you get the vibe the second you see it. The original is gorgeous, by the way, and you see it and it immediately invokes a feeling of, oh my god, I am unwanted and I am being judged, and these people fucking do not like me.
Yeah,
they are not happy that I'm here.
Definitely this art gives off.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you can't sit with us type vibes. Yeah. The party consists of Dara, a drow blade singer, Thalara, a tempest cleric, Lucifer, the cat fiend familiar that they share custody over, and an oath of vengeance paladin, Alistrana. You can find me on social medias as Hannah Muriel if you would like to see more of my art. And I just think
it's so good.
Like,
there's a cockatrice head or something on the wall.
Yeah.
In the back, I reckon that's something they killed.
There is the Baldur's Gate 3 dirge in the background as well.
Oh, is there?
Yes, there certainly is. And it's that feeling of the drow looking at you, like, kind of like, oh, the human looking at you like, uh-oh, and then the other human looking at you like, What are you doing? And then the familiar.
Yeah.
And in the original painting, there is a cat as well
Is there?
that sits there looking. I would actually argue more menacingly than this cat, than this familiar.
Amazing.
What a beautiful piece
of artwork. The quality of
artwork.
the art is insane.
Absolutely.
But then to take your favorite painting and then put that must feel pretty good. And for it to turn out that well.
This just invokes a certain feeling. And I think we've all felt this feeling once in our life of I am fucking not welcome here.
Not me. Everyone wants me around.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Especially the oldies at the birthday party.
Yeah, they love me. They love all my worldviews.
Yeah, they do.
They love it when I say trans people exist.
Yeah.
They love it when I say men love men.
Yeah. Yes, this art is done by Hannah Muriel. We will leave the links down below. An absolutely gorgeous piece of art. I say it every time. If I could draw,
it would be over.
It would be over. It'd be over.
Very good. Would. Amazing piece of art.
Really
Go check them out.
The next one is titled Big Guns and Small Packages. I will say, you saw this and you were like, the dog looks so happy.
The dog, look, anything that's got a dog in it, I'm going to instantly like.
Yep.
Now, when the dog's massive, or is the dog a normal size? That's a fairy.
I think it's a fairy, yes.
So when the dog's that cute and that happy and also has a Gatling gun on its back, I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm having a real good time on the podcast.
The belly's nearly touching the ground.
Yeah.
The dog's got his tongue out. Like,
got the goggles on.
Ready for business.
So the pup is called Biscuit, the gun pup. It's a corgi infused with fey magic, bound to the fairy ranger Silwen. Once a regular pup, he was blessed by a mischievous arc fey, granting him intelligence and an enchanted self-reloading mini machine gun.
Love it.
Small but fierce, Biscuit guards Silwen with an unwavering loyalty, dashing into battle with boundless energy, his rapid-fire barks and bullets striking fear into foes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, Biscuit.
I love you, Biscuit.
I love you, Biscuit.
I love you, Biscuit.
I would die for your Biscuit.
But not only is the dog absolutely adorable, the art's so good as well.
Yes, and Silwen's absolutely beautiful as well. Like the actual, like the coloring on the wings is absolutely beautiful. I love everything about this. This has been done by Alonso Vita, and they have commission slots open right now. We will leave a link to the Artistree down below. Please go check out both of these
check
artists.
them both out. Amazing
Absolutely
art.
Gorgeous.
Favorite doggo. Apart from this guy.
Yeah, this guy's being real naughty, by the way.
It's so weird because he's not been bad on the podcast for like months now.
No.
So the fact that it's because he wants his tea, he wants his lunch. I know, and I'm gonna go give it to him as soon as this is done. I'm gonna go give it to him.
He's lifted his head up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Indeed.
Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go and check out episode 1 of The Ascension of Farador.
Yes.
Out now on YouTube.
Indeed.
The next episode will be going up on Twitch this Thursday at 6 p.m. GMT, and the episode will then get uploaded to YouTube on Saturday.
Yes, indeed.
Check out channel memberships. Click the join button down below. You get so many benefits from the tiers. There's 3 different tiers to enjoy. If you want to join us over on Patreon, you also can. The link is down in the description.
Yes, absolutely. Again, a reminder, next Tuesday the 18th, we are going to be doing our very first Ascension of Farador roundtable.
With me, you, Abby, and Matthew.
Exactly. So any questions you have regarding Farador, please say for that live stream, and we will answer them all together. We're basically just going to hang out. We might order some food. Literally just chill out and answer any questions that you guys have.
Matthew will be like, Chinese food?
Yeah, yes, he certainly will. Yeah.
He loves Chinese food.
Yeah, indeed.
Thanks so much for being here. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you. We have been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're going to see you on Monday. Bye!
And once again, another huge thank you to our patrons and our YouTube members, and a huge shout out to our entity tiers.
Foobs.
Ariel.
Tula.
Runarian.
Arkham Labs Cosplay.
Maddie.
Luna.
Teddysaurus.
Caspian.
J-Spot TX.
Ultrafail.
Dallin M.
Sleepy.
Joe Dragon Lord 2.
Alistar.
Lawkeeper Society.
Ricky B.
Catherine.
Fauskin.
Azuriel.
Panda Queen Plays.
Xyloboy.
Lucas Ayapetis.
Luna River.
Crestomancy.
The Tacos are here.
Gavin.
Raynanana.
Scrimbles.
KC Joe 1313.
Keplin 1000.
Pretended Sue Ace.
Ash Z22.
Lee Axel 8.
Dana.
Captain Hades,
Slobby1,
Amelia A,
Rebecca K,
Banoffee Spy,
Blood Betrayal,
Tears of the Sun,
BH,
Crumley00,
Dink Twin.
Light of Hearts. Thank you all so much for the support. You have no idea how much it helps.
And if you too would like to become a patron or a channel member here on YouTube, click the link in the description or the join button down below.